Okay, guys, let's talk about something serious for a minute: the US economy in 2026. And look, I'm not here to scare you or make you panic, but if you're not aware, there's a financial storm slowly brewing. Here's the thing: inflation in the US might be cooling in the news headlines. Prices aren't shooting up as fast as they were, but that doesn't mean that prices are going down. They're staying exactly where they are. And for a lot of people, that's brutal. I mean, think about it. A bag of Doritos, $7? For somebody making 20 bucks an hour, that's like half an hour of work just to buy a snack. Remember when companies actually filled bags to the top? Even something like Pringles. It used to be a buck 50 for a huge can. Now they're a lot smaller and more expensive. It's a simple example, but it proves the point that your dollar doesn't stretch as far as it used to. Wages aren't keeping up either. People are getting slower growth, and a lot are tapping into more debt just to get by. Credit cards, loans, lines of credit, all higher interest rates too, by the way. Combine that with a higher interest rate environment, and suddenly normal life costs more without you even realizing it. Housing is another really good example. Home prices are still sky high, inventory is tight, and labor costs keep climbing. I bought my first home in 2023. Everybody said, don't buy, don't buy, prices are going to drop. I bought anyways because I saw how little inventory there was, and my home has almost increased by $100,000 in just 3 years. It's absolutely crazy what's going on right now. And, on top of all of that, even if you're not buying a house today, all of this still affects rents, prices for services, and eventually wages. Everything gets more expensive because the economy is under pressure. And again, I'm not here to fearmonger. I don't want you panicking, but awareness is power. Okay. If you know this is coming, you could position yourself ahead of it. So, step one is to live within your means. Because obviously, what's the point of me rambling about all this financial crisis in America if you're not prepared for it? So, again, live within your means. Seriously, don't inflate your lifestyle because you're making money. Okay. The first step to financial stability in a high cost, high interest rate environment is controlling what you can control. Don't spend every paycheck on things that depreciate in value. Step two is to invest. Whatever money that you have left over, even if it's small, put it somewhere that grows over time. Stocks, ETFs, dividend investing, a Roth IRA, crypto, real estate, literally anything you could do that will compound. And this isn't just theory. Every dollar invested now is a shield against rising costs and a way to build freedom in the future. Step three is focus on skills and income. That's the only thing you could do right now because these are macroeconomic factors that, you and I, we can't control interest rates, inflation, anything like that. That's not something what we could do. But when times get tight, having multiple ways to make money is crucial. If you're able to learn a skill, start a side hustle, make yourself more valuable and, ultimately make a little extra money, that is the real hedge against economic uncertainty. It's not trying to predict the market perfectly and make the most amount of money, but just having the skills that will enable you to make more money. And, I'll be honest, even with all my successes in my 20s, for those who are new to the page, I run my own business, I have employees, everything like that. I'm 23. I even had to rethink spending, saving, and investing in this environment. Up until this point, I've been reinvesting every single dollar right back into my business so that could continue to grow. But even I'm starting to feel the pressure of just bills getting outrageously high. I'm even looking at the electricity bill, the gas bill for our warehouse that we operate out of, and the bills just continue to go up and up and up. And we've revamped our strategy internally for the next 2 quarters in our business to just stockpile cash and to have a hedge, to have a rainy day fund because we don't know what's coming. So that is something that I wanted to share with you guys in this video is, you need to rethink how you're playing in this environment because it's something that we haven't experienced before. Just because you're making good money today, that doesn't mean that your money stretches the same way it did a few years ago. And, the financial pressures that I'm talking about, they're only going to become more obvious in the next couple of years if you're not prepared. So the lesson here is just really simple, awareness, control, and action. Know what's happening, control what you could control, which is your spending, your investments, and your skills, and just take action consistently. That is how you survive and thrive even in a brewing financial crisis. So here's my ultimate takeaway is that inflation might be cooling, but prices aren't falling. You still need to stretch your dollar. As a result, you should be more mindful of your spending. Number two is that debt and interest rates are higher. Don't let that trap you. Stop accumulating credit card debt. That is going to eat you out. Pay that down as soon as possible. Try to live with as little debt as possible. Now, not everybody's in a position to pay cash for a car or something like that. I'm not saying not to take out loans, but just be mindful of the cost of borrowing money because right now in this environment, it's extremely high. Number three, invest consistently. Your future self will thank you. You know, that's a given. I'll reiterate that anytime we're talking about making money, investing, anything like that. The earlier you start, if you're doing it consistently, you're going to be in a tremendous position. Number four, build those skills, build your income streams. Don't be relying on one paycheck from a job, because money alone isn't enough in tough times. And once again, this isn't about fear. It is just about positioning yourself accordingly to win while others are scrambling and struggling. The economy isn't collapsing overnight. Don't believe that. That's not the takeaway from this video. But just being proactive now is how you come out ahead in the event that something happens, like a recession, or even worse, a global depression. At the end of the day, the best practice isn't luck. It's just discipline, awareness, and action. Live smart, save and invest, and always, always, always be building your skill set. That is how you make 2026 work for you, no matter what the headlines say, no matter how bad the economy is, or no matter what kind of economic collapse might be coming our way. I hope you guys learned something from this quick video. If you enjoyed these videos and you want more like it, make sure to check out some of our other videos. We make all types of videos: money, personal development, everything in between. Check some of it out. And with that, we'll catch you here on the next one.